Hey guys, Rinji here, once again bringing you the worst out of the VTuber community, and today we have a throwback to a few years ago, to 2022, to probably the biggest VTubing controversy of that particular year, at least as far as indie VTubers were concerned, as the cosplayer turned streamer turned VTuber by the name of BunnyAyu, also known by her VTuber name BunnyGif, got herself involved in a little bit of drama, and by little bit I mean a lot. There was all kinds of things in that particular drama that have been covered extensively in hundreds of documents with hundreds of pages, with popular content creators such as Lena Lazar, Meowri or Peach Jars coming out in order to tell everybody what BunnyAyu has been doing behind the scenes to them and many other smaller content creators within the streaming sphere as well as the cosplayer scene. And it's a lot to go through, and if I wanted to cover all of this in this video, you guys would be sitting here for literal hours. If I wanted to go through everything, one by one, all the documents, all the comments by the people involved in this controversy, I estimate it would take about 10 hours to go through all of it. And since you guys don't have that kind of time, as well as I, there's a particular summarization done by the VTuber Rima Evenstar, 1 hour long, by the way, which I've linked to the description of this video. So if you want intricate detail when it comes to the BunnyAyu controversy, you can go look into that one, as it summarizes it rather well. But to give you the bullet points of what actually happened, well, let me give you the TLDR on this one. BunnyAyu, popular large-breasted cosplayer turned streamer, then turned VTuber, decided to pretty much fuck over all of her friends, quote-unquote, and all of the other smaller creators involved in her sphere, which involved a lot of emotional abuse, a lot of manipulation and gaslighting, as well as making sure that these particular opponents of hers, these streamers that were kind of in the way of BunnyAyu's popularity, would not get business opportunities. And BunnyAyu wasn't the only person involved in this particular drama on the side of the abusers. This was also her cohort, another quote-unquote friend by the name of Admiral Balru, a streamer that also turned VTuber at one point, and both of them were almost equally involved in all of this, with BunnyAyu being the leading force of that. And essentially, none of the issues that people really had with Bunny or Admiral Baru were really resolved at that time, when it took place in around the end of March of 2022. And going forward, there hasn't really been all that much updates when it comes to what these two have been doing. But I've got a few for you this time around, as BunnyAyu, despite the many controversies surrounding her name, is coming back to VTubing with a new VTuber model. And all of that has been kinda hinted at, with Bunny getting a new model, which she called the mascot at that time. Here she is seen being a PNG tuber on one of her streams with Baru here. And later on, in May of this year, she revealed that this new Ayu, this new bunny character, this new bunny anime character, is pretty much her new design, made by Das Doctor. And a lot of people were, were kind of weirded out by this, because when Bunny got into the controversy and kind of petered out over the months in 2022, she kind of dropped the VTuber bunny gif like almost entirely, like kind of got phased out. And at the end of 2022, she even abandoned the Twitter account that was related to bunny gif and went back to Flash streaming like almost entirely. So anything that involved her being a VTuber kind of got scrapped almost entirely. Whatever kind of apologies, whatever kind of explanations for her behavior Bunny had, most of them have been scrapped. You could probably find some archives here and there, but personally, BunnyAyu kind of washed her hands of all of this, probably hoping that nobody will remember as time passes. But you know, there are people like me, and there are people that were victimized by her that will surely remember this. But you know, we'll see how this goes. As here's the close-up of her new mascot, which later turned on to be a new VTuber model, as at on December 24th. Bunny, on her BunnyAyu Twitter account, revealed that she will be coming back to VTubing with a VTuber debut set for January 16th. Let's read the whole message. Hi bunnies, I will be taking a hiatus from Twitch streaming to arrange big plans I have going on behind the scenes. I will be creating content on socials while I prepare. Thank you so much for your patience. I will do my best to come back with new energy. We'll return to Twitch with my VTuber debut Friday at 7 PM CT, 8 PM ET, January 16th, 2026. I hope I will see you there. And here's her rigger, artist by the name of Komori, seen here working on the live 2D of the new Ayu VTuber model. And you cannot forget that since Bunny has been involved in a lot of a lot of drama all those years past, and even that drama itself went years back, it's not like Ayu hasn't been involved in any new drama. However, that new drama was like incredibly insignificant, and the part where Olive was revealed what she been up to at the beginning of this year, in January 2025, hasn't been all that well documented, and not many people have actually seen it. So here's a Blue Sky post by an artist of the name of Yohane that has compiled a Google Doc of the latest happenings, of personal happenings that involved his or her work for BunnyAyu and how they were treated by her. And if you can probably tell, nobody makes such huge Google Docs unless it's something negative. I've seen very few Google Docs about something positive, and those were usually of a humorous nature. People are just, you know, taking the piss out of your Google Docies. But no, this one is serious. And Yohane here has relayed that. I've also archived this particular Google Doc. We will not be going through it in this video, but you can read it, and it's linked in the video description, as well as the Rima Evenstar video. So you can familiarize yourself with it. And you'll see that Bunny has not learned much at all. So to give you a brief summary of what happened here, Yohane basically did some emote work for Bunny, only to get gaslit, only to get ignored, and essentially the same treatment that Bunny has been giving to other people all these years ago. But again, if you want to learn more about what happened here, please be sure to refer to the archived Google Doc, once again linked in the video description. And you also may be wondering, like what is this? If someone gets like so mega cancelled as BunnyAyu did in that time in 2022, how do they come back? Well, let me tell you how, dear viewer. Well, by completely ignoring your own controversy, completely ignoring the drama you yourself started with so many people, and then just trying to wash your hands of it like at all and go do something else. Because if you'll have flesh streamer of the attractive nature, such as BunnyAyu, you will have a fair bit of simps that will still follow you, not for the content of your personality, but for the content of your clothes, which is your body. So essentially, BunnyAyu went back to being a flesh streamer. The controversy didn't have all of that much impact on her. Her viewership dropped, as you can see from this Twitch graph here. The average CCV dropped in March of 2022, and it was dropping significantly down to July of 2022. But then Ayu started streaming more, started doing more flesh tubing, got into ASMR as well as variety streaming on Twitch, and the viewership grew exponentially. In fact, it grew so much more than when she was a VTuber. So her abandoning VTubing ultimately served its purpose. People that followed her for the content, mostly of rather sexual nature, they stuck around, and her viewership grew exponentially. And it's still kind of on the rise. There's some highs and lows. There's a tendency to going downward, but considering she just announced her comeback to VTubing, I think that's gonna rise up, unless the people that were part of the controversy from years past decide to come back and start more shit with her. But we'll have to see if that actually happens when January rolls around and she has her VTuber debut. But personally, I think nothing's gonna happen to her. She has loyal viewers. She has people that go and watch her content constantly. And again, considering attractive woman on the internet streaming with her assets out, do not make a mistake. Her assets are out almost all the time and in full view. She's gonna be fine. As you can see, there's her ASMR channel, which is kind of a bit inactive, but even a year ago she got plenty, and I do mean plenty, of views, in the hundreds of thousands on her ASMR content. So she wasn't really struggling all too much on that part. Even her Twitch VODs got decent viewership, much lower of course than her ASMR content, but still, this is still decent. 37, almost 38k subscribers, viewerships in the 10ks, so it's not that bad. So, and you may be wondering, like, what happened to her cohort? Well, Admiral Baru also kinda weaned on the whole controversy. He did apologize, I do believe once, if not twice, about his behavior towards the content creators they affected. But he just went back to streaming. His average viewership is kind of on the down and low. Rises, then goes down, rises, then goes down, but there's a tendency that it just keeps on dropping as time goes by. But considering like he was already a big streamer, was already a big content creator, having an average of thousands of viewers every single stream, I think he's gonna be doing just fine on Twitch, despite what they did all those years ago. So you may say that there's no justice to it, and people that are shameless will just, you know, go on and do all kinds of shitty shit and try to ignore their past controversies, try to go on with their lives, and people will stop caring at some point, because the internet at large has a very short memory span, And unless there's people like me and others to remind you of it, it's just gonna go away. And the people that were horrible abusers to others, they're just gonna come back and thrive because they're shameless, and no one will stop them from doing what they're doing. So right now we just have to wait and see what January brings. If Ayu's past controversies are gonna be brought up, maybe, but there's a low chance of it. Maybe all of it is just in the past. Maybe BunnyAyu and the people that she went after, maybe they solved their differences. Maybe they're good friends now. But I really highly doubt that, considering what kind of wench BunnyAyu was to them. But again, if you want more information about that, check out Rima Even Star's video about it. It really highlights what kind of person BunnyAyu is. But some people say that everyone can change. But when you have incentive not to change, especially if that incentive is of a monetary kind, you're just going to be doing what you've been doing all this time. And essentially fuck mortals. As long as you get that bag. But for right now, that's everything. And I hope to see you in the next one.